Welcome to a brand new season of the TAUK Peer-to-Peer podcast. And this season, we've changed things up a little. I'm here as your new host. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Steph, one of the co-founders of TAUK, long-time industry lover, estate agent of many years, and truth teller. And hopefully we'll really dig under the skin of what makes personal estate agency so great. This season is called Freedom with Foundations. You're going to hear me mention hyperlocal even more than I normally do. We're going to talk about the duality of brand. But most importantly, we're going to hear from estate agents, probably just like you guys who are listening and watching, but who are maybe a couple of steps ahead. So if you are considering going down the personal estate agency route, this is going to be gold dust. Take this like a voice note from somebody several steps ahead. If you're 3 months in or 3 years in and just need a little bit of inspiration, take each and every one of these episodes as the opportunity to restart, reset, and go again. But I'm your new captain. Hopefully we'll hear a load of honesty, some humour, the occasional swear words, and hopefully this season is going to be bigger, funnier, sassier and sharper than ever before, because personal estate agency deserves a personal voice. Welcome to season 3. Let's get into it. Welcome to TAUK. I'm Steph Vass. I'm one of the founders, and I'm here today with Coach Brown. He decided he wanted that nickname. I didn't give it to him. But you'll have probably spoken to Nick so far on your journey to starting TAUK, and we're super, super excited to see you on onboarding next week. There's tons of questions people have before they start. Let's go through a couple of those. If you were going back and starting onboarding yourself next week, what's some of the things that you'd want to know?
If I was starting onboarding next week, I'd be scared of jumping on with Coach Brown, to be honest. Yeah. I think the most important thing, and I say this to everybody when they start, is that this is your real opportunity. And when I look back at my personal agency experience, I don't know if I ever really understood before onboarding how much of an opportunity or how much my life was going to change.
Yep.
I think that before people join, the main topic of conversation is money. And for the best people who do the right things, that is a very, very good outcome, shall we say. But I think it's a bit deeper than that. I think that being a part of something much greater than yourself, changing the property industry, and being a part of a network of people that genuinely care about you, genuinely are invested in seeing you do well, I think is just incredible. I think you're not really aware of that before you join.
I always say, look, you're going to change your and your family's fortunes from a financial perspective. You're going to feel freedom you never have before. It's the most enjoyable way to do estate agency, quite frankly.
Yeah.
You're not going to work with clients you don't like anymore. The whole thing's just flipping great. But I always do say, you are on a little side quest. We are going to be the only style of estate agency that changes how the British public feel about moving home, about estate agents. And so as well as, it's all well and good for yourself, but be really proud, because you are starting something that's going to change your life, be so exciting, but you are changing our profession for the better as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's about being humble enough to appreciate that you are now totally irrelevant until you build that relevance in your hyperlocal location.
Yeah.
Right? Have the humility to accept the fact you're doing something new with your own name, with a brand that's going to back you, with a proper brand, proper national brand behind you that's going to back you. But be humble enough to know that the starting point is becoming relevant to people. Because when how I pitch, how I go into a door now, I'm recognised. My face is plastered all over Redruth. on our boards. My social media following when I started, I think even after year one, was about 500 people. It's 2,500 people. Still not enough, but I'm not. If I'd gone back in time, I'd want to have been more relevant to people earlier on. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I kind of hoped, because I had a background in that area, that people would just go, oh, he's gone off on his own, let me get in touch with him. And I think where I was first humbled along the journey was that I realised that no matter how hard I'd worked on the high street, they remembered the brand and didn't remember me. And now, with personal agency, they remember me.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
the important part. But I think if I was going back in time, that's where I put my focus on. But one of the things I've always wanted to ask you, actually, you've no idea where I'm going.
No, I have no idea where this is going.
One of the things I've always wanted to ask you is, if things didn't go well, say Steph Vass launched her personal agency business and I'd onboarded her in 6 months ago, right? But things hadn't gone well and you were beating yourself up about it. You were getting stressed. You had concerns. You were worried if you were doing the right thing. What do you think you would do to turn the tide?
So great that this video is going to be watched by people that are only just joining onboarding, so I can save them that 6 months of pain. You mentioned humility. I think ego, quite honestly, is the only thing that makes people fail in this business. And a lot of it is down to how we're built in conventional agency. Fear of failure. Now, I'm one of those really annoying people that's always on the uppers. I always like to say, I'm dead lucky me. And depends on how you view luck, right? But I just have a real lean towards positivity.
Yeah.
Which I know isn't a gift everybody is bestowed with. And for those that isn't, it can be quite annoying, quite frankly. But I'm always on the uppers. And so actually, if I was that person 6 months in, struggling, I'd want to be in front of these people that are joining next week and saying, just follow onboarding. Follow every single bit of advice. And the reason I say that is you haven't got time to waste. So why not just follow in the footsteps of 250 people who've gone before you, who've made all the mistakes? You don't need to make those missteps. That's one of the brilliant things about joining the business now. It wasn't the case when you joined, when we were 4 months old.
Yeah.
We had a shaky, rickety website and I was ordering people's business cards and
which never arrived.
I was terrible at that. We've got a solid machine. We've got a solid system that you can plug yourself into. We've got the playbook. We've got the Bible of what you need to follow to build a really successful business. So just do that. Just do that to start with. Get fancy in 6 months.
Yeah.
Go off-piste in 6 months once you've got a pipeline, you've been paid advance commission every month and people are starting to recognise you locally and all of that kind of good stuff. But just follow the plan. Don't waste your own time. And don't get yourself into that position where you look back and you kick yourself. Time is of the essence.
Yeah.
The plan exists. Just go all in for 6 months. Because I guarantee on every onboarding, and I say this all the time, the vast majority of people will follow the plan and they'll be super successful and they'll be in the group WhatsApp and, celebrating wins very early on.
Yeah.
There's a very small subset of people that do their own thing for the first couple of months.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3 months in, they get a bit pissed off at the people who are already successful and then go, crap, I should have listened to them in the first place. And there's an even smaller subset of people that always believe that they're right. Even though they've never been a personal agent yet, they believe they know better than all these other personal agents and they just won't be successful. So I treat this as a gift, I would say. If you're watching this now and you're joining next week, be in that first tier. Follow all the advice to the letter. Go off-piste in 6 months if you feel you need to. Most people don't though, because this is a proven methodology.
Yeah.
But go all in.
Yeah.
Don't give yourself the excuse. Don't sit there having knocked 5 doors a day and thinking you've done a great job. Go knock another 5.
Yeah.
Be relentless. give every waking minute to be devoted to this. I always say the more door knocks you knock today, the less you got to knock in 6 months.
Absolutely.
But build that success, ride that wave of momentum, because your business becomes so much easier out the other side. The longer you take to deliver that dedication, the longer it takes to earn some goddamn money.
Yeah. And I think what I witness with every onboarding I've done for circa 2.5, 3 years, when you start, you're full of motivation. And you can put that motivation into things that it's not a case of right and wrong. There are optimal things to do at launch and there are suboptimal things to do at launch. And unfortunately, the very sexy parts of our job are just a bit suboptimal when you start. But if you can use that motivation to build the foundations of your business, all of a sudden you don't need to then bring in this discipline.
Yeah.
Because when that motivation runs out, you've got to rely on you being an incredibly disciplined person to keep turning up and keep showing up. I would look at it like fueling an engine. Right? Yeah. If you're going on a long journey, don't muck about driving around your local area for a while. Get straight on the road. And it should be exactly the same. Take that motivation, get straight on the road that we know that works. And one of the most frustrating things for me is I hear some of the best ideas in a room of people just starting out on their journey. And those ideas are fantastic for year 2.
Yeah.
Just not at launch.
At launch, this is about going out and finding some lovely homes to put on the goddamn market. That is it. You are not a graphic designer. You're not a photographer. You're not suddenly an expert in digital marketing. It's just knocking doors. It's just having conversations. It's just getting some listings.
Being relevant.
Yeah, be relevant. And there is a little sexy moment, because you know when you get your first listing and then you book in the great photographer to come out and you do a fun video, there's a little sexy moment there.
A little sexy one, yeah.
That is a sexy moment. But I always say, you've now got the most, strangely, right? You've left your jobs because you don't want a boss anymore, but you've now got the most important boss of your life, and that's yourself. Don't let yourself down.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we're really looking forward to you starting your TAUK journey next week. We really are riding the crest of a wave. We're a movement and everybody has a seat at this table. We are the home of personal estate agents. We're the home of personal estate agency. And I cannot wait to be by your side and see you grow a fantastic business.